TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, and even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.
Accepted the challenge after halftime, and we just came out with a different mentality.
And boy, your bench was huge tonight, 4 in double figures, including Trey Murphy. It was so good to see him get hot. What did you like best out of your bench's performance?
I thought they just brought a spark to the team. They raised the level of play on both ends of the floor. They just were decisive. They ran our sets. They executed well on both ends of the floor. We needed that boost from our bench, like you said. Trey came in, gave us great minutes. Jose was great. Billy, Nikhil got it going late in the third quarter. So our bench was important, and we needed that lift tonight.
And Jen brought up Trey. I mean, what in particular did you like about what he was able to do tonight after being out in the lineup for a while?
I like Trey's decisiveness. When he caught the ball, it was catch and shoot. He didn't think. Defensively, he just battled and he rebounded the ball, things that we've been asking him to do, and he's getting better and better.
And you went to a lineup we haven't seen too much this year with him, Herb, and B.I. out there. It seemed like that length really helped you on defense. What did you kind of see when that unit was playing together?
Well, Detroit did a really good job when they put Olynyk and Lyles in the game. They presented a sort of a matchup problem for us. So coming in the second half, we wanted to combat that by putting in Trey, Herb, like-sized guys that can red screens, and maybe one big. So it was just a matter of looking at the game and just making an adjustment, but we like what we saw.
And the last few times we've seen B.I. come off an injury, it's taken him 2 or 3 games to really gain his rhythm. It seemed like he really hit the ground running tonight. What did you really see from him, especially in his offensive approach tonight?
It was just great to have him back. He was aggressive. He looked like he didn't miss a beat, and he was getting to his spots, getting to the foul line. It makes a huge difference with our team when he's on the floor, and we're happy to have him.
All right, let's go to Zoom. Hey, Willie, holding them to 36 points in the second half. Just what do you think you guys did well in defensive end across the final 2 quarters?
Well, the whole key going into the game was pack the paint, force those guys to take tough contested threes. They're not one of the better three-point shooting teams. I thought the last few minutes in the second quarter, we allowed them to get some open threes, which any guys can make. But just pack the paint, mix in unders on pick and rolls, and be aggressive in our approach, and then just rebound the ball and get out and run.
Hey, Coach, hope you're doing well. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
That ability to bounce back after a tough loss in a close game in Cleveland, what speaks about your team?
We've been talking about it all season, but this is a resilient group, and we just stay with it. Cleveland was a tough loss, but the thing that I like is that we gave ourselves an opportunity to win the game. And over again, we want to continue to do that. Tonight was another example of the last 5 minutes of the game, putting yourself in a position to win the game. And we executed better. We got stops, things that we needed to do the night before we didn't, but gutsy win on our part tonight to come into Detroit and get this win.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned into the Pelican Post-Game Report. Much love to the flock. Appreciate you guys for tuning in on this installment of the Pelican Post-Game Report. Double recap and preview of the Pelicans' next matchup against the Denver Nuggets. But without what they did tonight was a good performance by the Pels as they get the win over the Detroit Pistons, 111-101. Much love to the flock. Appreciate you guys for being in the building. Appreciate you for joining us in the live stream. Much love to the fam. I'm Big Q chiming in this installment. I got my co-host DC in the building as well. This one's entitled Brandon Ingram Returns to lead the Pelicans, man, to a 111-101 win over the Pistons. And also it's a double recap. We'll recap the Cavaliers matchup as well. So thank y'all for being in this episode of the Pelican Post-Game Report. Much love to the flock as the Pelicans get their win, the 19th in their 19 and 32, at least one win away from capturing that 20 win. And we got BI back, and he put up a bunch of points to help the Pelicans. And of course, the bench really stepped up. And we talked about Trigger Trey. DC, we made mention Trigger Trey Murphy about him getting more minutes, and then
the family was saying he needed to play. Look what happened when you play Trigger Trey.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Good performance, though, DC, to be honest, off the bench, man. If we can get more, I know that's asking a bit much because it's still a very young bench with Jose Alvarado doing what he did. And, of course, Trigger Trey Murphy coming in the game and giving them pointage there as well. So, man, what can I tell you, man? This was a good win by the Pels. Let's talk about it before we get to the stats.
Really good win, man. You got to love what you see in the way they won. Quick note. Detroit had what? Was it 62 points? Or 65 at halftime?
65.
And 65. And they ended the game with 101 points, Q.
I know.
I was concerned. The first half, I was like, damn, boy, our good defensive play just went down the drain. Boy, they turned up the intensity after halftime, man. And they won this game as a complete team. You know, as much as I want to say it was BI, which he did a lot of the heavy lifting, everybody else played their part, man. Everybody did something to contribute to the win tonight. Even down to, let's say, Garrett Temple and Jackson Hayes. He didn't have as good of a game as he had against Cleveland, but he did a lot of little things right. You know, made the right passes. His stats didn't jump out at you, but everybody did their part, man, and played their role. And, you know, when you got your star back, turns out in the W, man. So we'll see what it looks like when Josh Hart hopefully get back against Denver and we could play them at kind of 3/4 strength because we still missing Zion. But should be a better outing against Denver now that we got BI back.
Let's get into the team statistics as the Pelicans, man, did what they had to do in this one. Actually shutting Detroit down in the fourth quarter, having a pretty good quarter, putting 27 while holding them to 14, 111-101 win. Pelicans shot almost 44%, 39 of 89 from the field, 41 of 84 by the Pistons for 49%, pretty good. And, of course, both teams didn't really shoot that well beyond the three-point line, 8 of 28 for the Pelicans for 28.6%. Pistons 8 of 32 for 25% flat. Free throw line, Pelicans shined. They got 28 attempts on the road, and they took advantage of them, 25 of 28 for 89.
That's what you want right there.
That's exactly what you need right there. And the Pelicans did it big there. 11 of 14 by the Pistons for 78.6%. Pelicans dominated on the boards, 46 to 35, 16 offensive rebounds for those Pelicans. 24 on the assists for the Pels versus 21 by the Pistons, 8 to 7. Pels 5 to 3. Pels total turnover 17 with 16 points off versus 19 by the Pistons with 12 off of theirs. Fast break 5 to 2 advantage Pistons, 50 to 46 advantage Pistons in terms of points in the paint. And of course, 11 was the largest lead by the Pelicans. Pistons at one time did lead by as much as 15. So individually speaking, you can see that one of the, like I was talking about, hitting your free throws when it really matters is a big part of the philosophy. And the Pelicans, man, credit to the referees, were able to get 28 free throw attempts on the road and versus 14 by the Detroit Pistons. and the Pels were able to do some positive stuff to take advantage on the charity stripe. DC, what statistics kind of stick out to you in this one?
What, man? Them 16 offensive rebounds right there, bro. Them things. That's a lot, Q.
Yeah, I know.
That's a lot. And JV obviously gonna lead the charge in that, but you seen Trey Murphy doing this thing. I remember seeing Clark get a few of them. I remember seeing Herb get a few of them. To do what they did, man, we haven't been shooting well. So you're gonna have to rely on your defense and being able to rebound the ball and executing your offense, man. And they went out there and did that, as well as hitting your free throws. So, for the Pels to hit 89% on 28 free throws, like that's huge. That's huge, man. That's a recipe for winning. And then go and have a team, shooting damn near 60%, and then they in the game under 50%. I'm looking at the field goal percentage of the Pistons. That jumps out at me too, because I know that was a lot higher in the first half, and the way that they were able to turn up the defensive intensity. So the two ones for me, bro, is gonna be free throw shooting and them 16 rebounds, man. I mean, you can point to a few other things looking as well, but that's the ones that really jump off the page to me.
Yeah, not bad by the Pelicans doing their thing, man. That's what kind of stuff you need to kind of get these winning. Of course, we kind of look at them and saying, listen, Pelicans were on a losing streak. In order to break the streak, they were motivated to get up off that losing snide, man, and take advantage. BI comes back. A lot of people wasn't anticipating BI. We kind of knew that he would play. A lot of people were surprised that he played. But boy, did he really come out and play like he been played, and gave them a very critical 26 points in 32 minutes. He was able to 8 from the field, 1 of 1 from downtown, and a really crisp 9 of 10 from the charity stripe. 26 points for BI, Magnum BI, 26 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists for him. A steal and a block in the game, plus 15.
Not just the block, it was D block.
Yeah, he had a hell of a block in that one. And of course, in the starting lineup, 13 from Big V in 29 minutes, 4 of 9, kind of rolled out the bed, gave him 13 and 13 in the matchup here, as you can see. And then, of course, you look at the next people, like Herb, just 6 points in the matchup in 22 minutes, but he did a lot of other stuff, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal as well. He had 5 personal fouls that he was playing with. Jackson Hayes played in this one, 6.7 rebounds in 26 minutes. Graham in 31 minutes of action, DC. Graham, 3 of 14, all 5 from downtown. He had 6 points, 5 assists in the matchup. He had 4 turnovers in the matchup. Graham not really having a great game in terms of
bro.
Shooting pretty bad. But really, if you look at it, the Pelicans bench came alive when it really mattered in this one. And several young players contributed with really solid production. 4 double-digit guys off the bench. Starting with 14 from NAW in 19 minutes, 5 of 11 from the field, 2 of 6 from downtown.
Great game by NAW.
14 points for him. 12 points by Trigger Trey Murphy comes in. 15 minutes, puts 12 in, 2 of 5 from the field, 2 of 5
and
from downtown,
played all the minutes down the stretch too.
Right, and that was the thing. Like, we know he was dealing with the protocol stuff coming off this thing, but 12 points, 5 rebounds. We're going to need his offensive prowess from Trigger Trey Murphy to come in and help out off the bench. We definitely need his contribution as a first-round draft pick. And, of course, you look at Billy Hernan Gomez is solid as ever, 11 points in 16 minutes. He was 5 of 7 from the field. And duty here, 11 points, 4 rebounds. And then Jose Alvarado, very solid as well, 10 points in 19 minutes of action. He had 6 assists in the matchup to lead the game in assists for the Pelicans. So pretty good production by the Pels off the bench, and in BI's contribution as well, but a really solid contribution from the Pelicans bench. If we'd had that last game, we'd end up winning it. And then their top scorer was Corey Joseph with 18, 17 from Grant in the matchup, 14 off the bench from Frankie, showing his a little get back.
Frankie Flash.
14 for Frankie, and of course 12 points from Diallo there. So the Pelicans in the season series on the Pistons, 2 games and none, knocked them out of here. We won't see these guys again for the rest of the year because they damn sure ain't going to the playoffs and to the finals. So with that being said, DC, let's talk about.
You never know, bro, what the play-in format.
Hell no. All right, DC, let's hit them. Give me some a couple of guys that impressed you.
Well, I mean, I don't think I'm gonna be able to name everybody and impress me tonight because it'll just take too long. So I guess I'll start with Bi, man. Obviously coming back, dropping a pretty efficient 26 points. 9 for 10 from free throw line. So wow, Bi must have been watching film on the sideline, figuring out how to get to the damn free throw line because he come back and get to the line probably. This has got to be the most he got to the line all year. And they still were disrespecting him on calls, ejecting the man because he won't yell after he got the game pretty much seal and block, in my opinion. And we started to almost fumble that away. Kind of glad we were able to close out the game. It was looking real sketchy with some of them calls and how stuff was going in the last 2 minutes. But Bi came in and did his thing, man. Constantly impressed by his effort. As they're gonna show that block play at some point to play better defense. I really think that's the big step for him this year. Offensively, he's doing the same thing with the added facilitation as well, but him adding a defensive thing to his game and really growing into a full two-way guy, man. If we could just keep him out there and not get hurt anymore, everything looks different when we have Bi, man. Watching the Cleveland game, it was like, do we really want to trade? Should we tank? You start to get a little depressed. You're wondering, can they still make a run? And then you plug Bi back in, and it just looks like a different unit. So shout out to him, man. Getting back out there, love his energy, how he vibes with everybody on the team, man. It's a real team, man, and we have an unselfish star in Bi, man, doing this thing. Don't really jack up shots no more. Trusting his teammates, seeing that play where he trusted Trey in a very crucial situation to hit that 3-pointer, and just making all the right plays, man. Continuing to push that campaign to be, hopefully when they announce it this week, be an all-star as a reserve. I believe with your boy from Atlanta. That shouldn't matter on his side though. That's the East. But either way, Bi should be an all-star, man, and he had a great game today. Looking forward to him having a phenomenal game on Friday. And let me see, we'll name 2 more guys that jumped out to me. We got to give a shout out to Trigger Trey, man. Trigger Trey been having a lot of ups and downs. We wondering why he not playing. Willie Green came out and said, we wanted him to play defense and rebound the way he did tonight. So obviously he's much improved in that area. And that's a hint to maybe one of the things I think that was keeping him off the court. He went and dropped that 33 points. And I think after he did that in the G League and they pulled him back, they had intentions on start giving him minutes before he got minutes this game. But he had the whole protocol nonsense he was dealing with. And I think, didn't he have like a slight injury too, or it was just all protocol?
I think it was just protocol, I won't say.
Well, he was dealing with all that. It would have been nice to see him against that Cleveland game. That's the one thing I kind of wish we would have did better. I wish Coach would have did better with the rotations, but we'll get to that. But great game tonight for Trigger Trey, man. 2 for 5 from the field, and he just got lucky at the free throw line. He went there and got 2 techs. He was just shooting free throws forever and hit all of them, man. Hit all 4 of them free throws. But the big thing to me was those 3 rebounds. You know what I mean? That crucial 3-pointer he hit with the pressure on, kind of needing that 3-pointer to seal the game. He did that, and he just looked more comfortable. A lot of times when I seen Trey out there, he looked real stiff and rigid and kind of twitchy and overreacting, and that's going away a little bit. So obviously it's time to wait. He's learned something, and hopefully he can grab hold of these 15 minutes and consistently get them every game, man. I think that'd be the next step. The next guy for me, say who stood out. Hey, man, it's a tough decision. Who do I want to pick from? I gotta go with my man. I know I'm supposed to say JV. JV had a pretty decent game. Didn't take a lot of shots. I wish he would have took more shots, but I'm gonna talk about Jose Alvarado because with Devontae Graham doing what he's doing, man, 6 points on 14 shots in 31 minutes, 4 turnovers and 5. Come on, Graham, bro. I saw somebody put it in the chat. He said Devontae Graham mama wasn't lying when she sent that text. It said Jose was gonna take your spot. You know,
Yeah, big
so
ups to
it's
mom.
like, yeah, man, moms wasn't lying, man. And Jose, to me, I love Devontae Graham too, man. I like his game. I really believe he can be great. But the more I watch Jose, and especially like tonight, I was just wishing they left Jose out there.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
when he
definitely
be out
different when
there,
he was out
things
there.
be going good for the offense. Things go good for the defense. I mean, he's just everywhere, doing everything. He obviously is going to play really well with Bi because he credits Bi with helping him advance his game and grow into what he is now. So it's going to be hard to keep him off the court, Q, if Devontae Graham doesn't step it up and get out of the slump he's going through. So he's my other guy, man. He 10 points, got you 6 assists. You know he going to get a steal somewhere and be responsible for probably 4 or 5 other steals that somebody else got. 1 turnover, man. I heard AD say during the game, and that was during the game. I don't even know if we added these 6 assists, but he has like 40 assists on the season to like maybe 2 or 3 turnovers or 5 turnovers or something like that. Some crazy stat, man. Dude,
Yeah.
just don't turn the ball over, bro. So when you put the ball in his hands and he kind of dictates the offense, good things happen. And you don't have to do a whole lot in this offense. You just got to be smart, decisive, and make the right decisions quickly. And he definitely does that. And just loving everything I'm seeing from him, man. He was a key component in us winning this game. In my opinion, this game, the victory had a lot to do with our bench. We killed them. We killed them in bench scoring. I think we scored maybe it had to be 50-something points we put up on the bench. You got 4 guys in double figures on the bench, and that's not typical for us, man. We usually struggle in that area a little bit, so they got it right tonight, man. And would like to mention a few other guys, but for the sake of time, let's just go ahead and move on, brother. Shout out to the rest of the team, though. Everybody played pretty good tonight, with the exception of my man Graham, bro. But he still made some plays that helped us win the game. So it wasn't all bad, but statistically, he got to get better, D. Graham.
Yeah, he got it, and that's a big part of it. Hold on, fam. Let me get my camera here. There we go. We got out of focus. All right, is that better, fam? I don't know how I got out of focus there. All right, hope that's better. Anyway, brother Thomas got the super chat there. He says Jose shows what he can look like with a lead guard with effect and IQ. Thank you, brother Thomas, for that.
And he don't miss them open threes too. He don't miss his threes, man. His wide open threes, you don't never miss them.
And Graham, and like I said, and I like Graham as well, man. I'm not gonna kid you. I like Graham.
So he's ultra talented, bro.
He just it just ain't click. It's like with so many games into the season, this guy, for whatever reason, it's like I was expecting like him to come out of his shell per se and kind of take on that and just be in the range of averaging that anyway between I'll be north of 16 points a contest, maybe 18 points. He's good enough to average 18 points a contest.
He was at one stretch, I believe he was averaging. He was on the stretch where he was averaging about that.
What's concerning about it is that when the big guys, Big V, BI wasn't there, he had plenty of opportunities to guide and take the team, but he didn't. And I was like, what's that all about? But, like I said, we'll see because the Pelicans have a young nucleus of players that are gelling. Jose Alvarado is a guy that's obviously putting a lot of pressure on Graham to step up. And Graham making big chips, man. He's making big chips, and man, it's like it's the same thing that happened to Jackson.
12 million a year, huh?
Bro, listen, I think isn't it 12 or 14? Is it 12 or 14?
Nah, I know he got 48 or 47 for 4 years, so
okay.
Maybe it is 14 for this year, and then it goes down to 12 or 11 or something.
It's
Could
11.
Be.
It's 11.
11
this year. Yeah, 11 this year. But that's what I'm saying. It's like you look at what he's done, man. In terms of it's like last year when it's similar, reminiscent of last year and this year when you see Billy Hernan Gomez pushing Jackson Hayes. And for short stretches, Jackson will respond and do his thing, then he'll fall off the cliff. This year, he's holding firm, and he finally found a way to happen. And then it correlates with Jose Alvarado being on the team as those guys working together. So I can't help but to think that they're helping each other understand the game and playing together. And I just love that. Plus, Alvarado's temperament is very similar to Josh Hart and very similar to Herb Jones. So I mean, that's what I'm thinking about. What I say, Herb Williams? That's old school.
Herb Williams. I don't know where you're getting him from.
That's from
and Herb got his official invitation to the All-Star game, so he will be at the Rising Stars. Well, not rock. What do they call the rookies?
Oh man,
I think it's the Rising Stars is the next year. I think.
Stars is Rising something like
that.
Is it
the Rising Stars? Okay, maybe I got it right.
But Nola Dankin, thank you for your super chat. My friend says B.I., Herb, and Trey equals death lineup.
That's right. Appreciate that, Nola Dankin, and that's facts there, man. If them brothers, especially if Trey can play, get you pretty close to what he gave you tonight, and you got them three, man, that is a problem.
But see, that's the thing.
Because Trey got the lint too to play deep, be a defensive headache too.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean.
The thing, if we know that is defensively speaking, he's not there quite yet. But we could just
he was pretty solid tonight.
He was all right tonight. But if we can get him to perform offensively to help out the bench, I think in increments, let's peel off a little some temperament minutes from Temple, because Temple didn't really do, he offensively didn't really give you anything tonight. I think he had like 2 points or something like that in like 16 minutes or something like that. So I mean, Trigger Trey is the future of the team, and he's a first round draft pick. You got to play the guy. If he's healthy, you got to give him minutes so he can help the bench. So it's good to see Jose. Even you failed to mention, I thought you was going right after you talked about what's the first person you talked about off the bench, which is NAW. I thought you was gonna go to NAW. You hopped right over.
NAW was another guy I wanted to talk about. I had to pick him or Jose, man.
I know you're gonna give Jose some love.
I always give NAW ups when he play well, man. So I figured I picked Trey for the sake of just talking about everybody.
Yeah, damn it. Herb Williams played for the Knicks back. Yeah, I remember that. Herb Williams. He used to back up Patrick Ewing back in the G. Old Herb Williams. All right, so anyway, let's get into the game and we recap, and this is a double recap on the back-to-back night, family. So that's how we usually do it. Pelicans fell to the Cavaliers the night before 93-90 in a game where the Pelicans had the game. They just couldn't close the door on Cleveland. Cleveland was fighting their ass.
We let Kevin Love kill us, man.
Man, they were fighting, and they put up the most points in that final quarter with 33 to push past the Pelicans barely, but we had the game. We had it in hand. Anyway, let's talk about it right quick. 33 of 85 by the Pels for almost 39% from downtown, 43% by the Cavs, 36 of 84, 6 of 30, atrocious night shooting the ball from downtown for 20%. Cleveland a little bit better, 9 of 31 for 29%. Pelicans did hit almost 86% of the free throws, 18 of 21 from the charity stripe, 12 of 14 by the Cavs, 51 rebounds by the Pelicans versus 37, in 16 of which was offensive. The Pelicans had 26-26 with Cavs on the assists, 6-6 on the steals, 8-9 advantage Cavs. On the blocks, turnovers, Pelicans only 13 with 15 points off, 10 by the Cavs with 2 off, 10 fast break points by the Pels versus 9 by the Cavs, 46-44 points in the paint, advantage Pels. And of course, we, like I said, the Pelicans led by 9 and Cavaliers by as much as 5. But it really came down to the back end. You seen the Cavs was pushing on, man, to try to get the game, and the Pelicans had it, and they couldn't, seize the day. But what was interesting is that DC, Goodwin, and these goddamn point guards for the Cleveland Cavaliers, without Colin Sexton, without your boy, them dudes was still able to put up points from the point guard position to hurt us. And they had this goddamn guy, what's his name? Passing the ball, starting at the center position, at the point guard position. Issued out Winston. Let me pull him up here. But he pulled out like 7 assists for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
No, that wasn't good one.
No, 12. Osman. C.D.
Osman.
Osman.
Osman got 12
C.D.
assists.
Osman,
Yeah.
12 assists in the matchup to facilitate for the team. And then, of course, the key scorer was Goodwin off the bench in 27 minutes. Man put up 21 points. Love 15, 11 points there
Look,
as well.
firecracker, man.
Yeah,
Twitchy little dude.
they just can't. They are a very
on the 10th
tough
as
team.
Hart meanwhile
They're-
unloads a three,
They're a
rebounded
very
by
tough team, man. They scrappy as hell. But let's hurry up and clean through this one, man.
Yeah, man. This one was disappointing because I mean, I was excited when I saw the starting lineup that they finally decided to go with Jackson Hayes at the 4 and starting them with JV. I knew we was gonna be in for a show when I saw that. And Jackson Hayes, you know, he played amazing in his hometown, and then the Bengals going to the Super Bowl and all that must have charged them up, man. And I really thought he was gonna be able to lead us to a victory. But as you can see with the stats, this was a very, very close game. Stats are pretty close all the way across the board. It was pretty much a defensive game, and that's what we seem to kind of be becoming. As far as our identity, we're leaning towards being a defensive team after being what for the last 2-3 years primarily an offensive team and not playing much defense at all. So we're kind of growing into that identity. This game was evidence of that. But they did enough, in my opinion, to win this game. They just couldn't fix it down the stretch. It's very concerning to me. I try to trust Willie because I trust him as a coach, but I just could not understand why we had Josh Hart on Kevin Love, and he continued to score on him maybe, 3 or 4 times in a row. I don't know why we wouldn't put Herb on him, or, I mean, throw Jackson Hayes on him, just something different.
Somebody.
He just would back down Josh Hart and shoot over him, man, and that cost us the game. That really cost us the game because once they did that, it was hard for everybody to get points, and they found something that would work for them in that short stretch, man. And we couldn't bridge that gap. And then a lot of people can look at JV this game, and he had basically a free line to the goal, man. If he would have made that shot, we've been going to overtime. You're looking at him like maybe he should have dunked it. He went up with a layup. He's pretty much open and just missed. You know what I'm saying? So it just wasn't meant to be. Very, very heartbreaking loss, in my opinion. Watching Willie in the press conference, he said all the right things, but just looking at his face, man, he just seemed a little dejected and a little upset about losing that one because we all know we had this one in the bag, man. We really were supposed to beat Cleveland, but they handled their business and we didn't, man. So without Darius Garland, as you said, Q, Osman was out there torching us with the flamethrowers. I would have thought it would be somebody like Rondo or something, but he didn't really do much. You know what I mean? But they just found a way to scratch out a win, man. And I really thought it should have been us, and it just showed our lack of experience and inability to execute down the stretch.
Yeah, they are really scrappy, man. Despite this, say that they're missing a lot of their offensive firepower, they were still able to pull it together. And
they're a good team, man. They got rumors of LeBron going back to Cleveland now. That's how good he is.
So
he go away, he let him get good, and then he won't come back.
I'm so sick of that, man, really. But anyway, yeah, that was a scrappy performance. It'd have been good the Pelicans come away with the win, but that was they split with the Pelicans. Pelicans did beat them in the first matchup in game 108 to 104. Cavaliers returned the favor 93-90. That'll be the season series 1-1 with those scrappy Cavaliers, man. So that'll do it for them. And of course, now we moving ahead to the matchup coming up on the 4th, which will be 3 days from now. The Pelicans will match up with the Denver Nuggets. So we'll get that going. DC, go ahead.
Yeah, I just saw a brother comment. I thought it was a good comment, and I just wanted to mention, Jackson Hayes before we moved on one more time. He said, we recently talked about a way for Jackson Hayes and Billy Herman Gomez to both see minutes on the court. It's working. Hopefully, Willie Green will continue to play both of them. That's what I'm hoping for as well. It's something about Jackson Hayes at this 4th spot, Q. Even tonight, and this was probably not as good of a game tonight as he played in this game we're talking about with Cleveland.
Yep.
But he still was impactful to me. Like he got way more rebounds than we used to seeing him get. Got about 8 rebounds tonight. He did the same thing the other night. He's out there. He confidently took two 3-pointers, hit one of them. You know, the dude was pretty much perfect. And he really didn't play horribly tonight. You know, just wasn't as aggressive and key moments in the game. Trey Murphy kind of did his thing and kind of took Jackson Hayes minutes, or some of the minutes, because he was supposed to be the starter. He only played 26 tonight. But this night against Cleveland, man, the brother probably had his best game we've ever seen him have. He gave us 19 points and 19.7 rebounds, you know what I mean? And got 3 blocks. And it's something about him defensively that looks a little better too, not having to bang down there. He can be that off-ball shot blocker that we know he is. He's getting more shot blocks at the power forward spot, you know, and we really need that because we're a team. I would imagine, I'm not looking up the stats right now, but I would imagine we probably close to bottom of the league in block shots. So we really could use that energy, man, and just intensity he provides on both sides of the court, especially when he's really into the game. Something about him, he get a couple of dunks and does this or that. It just seems to turn his defensive intensity up too, and everybody kind of vibes off of that. So looking forward to see them being able to use all 3 of those guys, because I think that might be a key for us or something we can do to actually contribute to more wins and kind of bump up the efficiency of our bench.
Yeah, to be honest with you, when we do mention and talk about Jackson Hayes at the 4 position, I was skeptical about that because Jackson Hayes wasn't comfortable and wasn't exhibiting a mid-range shot or any type of offensive acumen. I mean, he really wasn't. But as of late, he's been on this streak where he's totally confident. Forget what game this is. Maybe it was 3 games ago. No, actually, what was it? Against Cleveland. When the ball was passed to Jackson Hayes, he was about 12 to 14 feet from the basket. The ball was passed to him. He didn't just look to pass out of it. He took the ball and decisively turned around and took a 12.
Oh, you talking about that mid-range shot you kept getting on about taking.
Okay.
He took a nice one.
So like I
Mm-hmm.
was saying, yeah, his mid-range game is down. Like I said, we don't do nothing but just talk about that real. We keeps it a buck 15. But you know, like we talked about with the Pelicans doing, executing, and Jackson Hayes has to be able to get his mid-range game together and contribute. But at the 4 position, he's really starting to feel comfortable in that plan and giving them the opposite those minutes. And I'm really encouraged. But that twin tower look, I want to call it, of Jackson Hayes and Big V, and that has potential, man. So, you know, the Pelicans, man, they might have found something there, but trying to get the most, if you can try to some kind of way get those first-round draft picks, whether they be Jackson Hayes or Trigger Trey Murphy, NAW, get them minutes and get them. Listen, the Pelicans going to need those first-round draft picks to contribute because you got your undrafted guys
right,
doing their thing. So our first-round draft picks are going to have to help off the bench, and that's a big part of winning in this league. We have to be able to rely. That bench sometimes is going to have to do their thing, like what Cleveland bench did for the Cleveland Cavaliers the other night. They stepped up and handled the business for the Cavaliers, man, Goodwin and others. So, you know, like I said, it's coming along slowly but surely, but it damn sure feels good to have B.I. back in there and come back up in that sucker, put up 26 points, missing several contests, and came in there unrusty, and handled the business. So, man, yeah, Pelicans good win tonight. Anyway, let's look at the next one we got going on with Denver here. All right, DC, we got to give these boys some payback on this Denver matchup here, man. You know,
they just every time we played them, even when we had Zion, we couldn't beat them. Huh?
Yeah, the Nuggets, they beat us.
What is it about Denver, man? We just can't seem to get over the hump with them.
Games 1 and 2 were both victories by them. They're currently leading us the regular season series. 2 games and none. The best we can do in terms of that is just even up the series and get our 20th win of the season against the Denver McNuggets. 28-22. The Nuggets are 13-9 at home. They're pretty good there. Pelicans 19-32 as it stands. 8-19 away. BI is back, 22.4 is his points per game, 44.3 on the average, shooting from the field, almost 82% from the charity stripe. Big V, 12 a game, rebounding that ball, and BI is the top assist man at 5.2 and 34.4 minutes per contact. And do you know who the man is? Jokic. 26 points a game he's Mr. Everything. All the major statistical categories is Jokic. He's the top dude. 26 points a game on 57.3% shooting. He averages almost 14 rebounds a night and almost 8 assists per game in 33 minutes flat. Jokic is
the MVP type season, huh?
Dude, awesome, man. And I'm pretty
17.2%, Q.
I know it's crazy. But this is the thing, that he is the straw that stirs the Denver Chicken McNuggets drink. And we're gonna have to go up there and take care of business against this team. Chicken McNugget drinks, you don't like my little
That's nasty.
Anyway, they got a lot of injuries, but man, Jokic is the guy that always seems to bring it as the Pelicans dealing with Josh Hart out, Didi Louzada as well. So there's several games before they get there. But if you look at the Nuggets, they are on a serious winning streak, DC. So the Chicken McNuggets are handling their business, man. We got to
wait. I think they lost tonight, Q. I mean, when I peeked at the Minnesota game, it was 90-66.
Their streak got broken. They won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row. They beat the Bucks 136-100. Prior to that, they got the win against us 116-105, and then they lost tonight to the Timberwolves. And Big Cat had a really good game. They lost 130-115, bro. So they got the Jazz. They got the Jazz on the second coming up here. So
they might be able to get that one. The Jazz, I think, a little banged up. Ain't Donovan Mitchell or one of their guys out too? I know Ingles just. I'm sorry to hear about that. I like Joe Ingles. He think he tore his ACL.
Yeah, he done.
You know, he's 34, man. So that's not a good look, man. When you tearing ACLs that late in the game, bro, that'd be enough to put you out. You know, for real, all the way out.
Yeah, that was tough one by Ingles, man. He gave him a lot, man. So I mean, they'll just they have some other players that's they probably will step up, but Jazz is scrappy, man. They're still the first in the Northwest Division. Tough matchup for the Nuggets nonetheless, as they will be home for that matchup, and then the Pelicans will proceed their way. So let's break down the matchup between the McNuggets and the Pelicans. This is gonna be a tough one.
But, they got their best guys, Q. They got all their best guys except for Porter and Jamal Murray. And I mean, damn, you know, that's saying a lot. But they've been without those two guys for a while. So, you know, Will Barton is back in effect. You know what he does. We call him slightly the Pelican killer because every time he normally gets it going. He didn't do too much last time he played us. Morris had a good game. Eric Gordon last time was hitting 3-pointers and stuff, doing stuff we don't normally see him do. So we got our hands full, man. But I'm looking forward to seeing this Twin Towers lineup we got. Maybe we don't have to start Jackson Hayes, but we could implement him in some of those defensive setups against Jokic, man. Maybe when we run our double teams, we try to have some type of setup where we can run some big guys at him because he didn't play against JV. And I remember last time, the first game, I believe, when we played Denver and JV went up against him, JV had a pretty good game, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe we could be in for that. Our game plan could be to try to tire Jokic down through making him play defense, which I think is something we really have to consider because we've tried everything else. So maybe if whoever he's guarding, you know, we could try to get JV in there and get him on him. And if they move him off of him, you know, you make that other guy get some things going. I hope he have a positive night because what else can you really do, Q? You got to find a way to take that energy from him, man. I mean, he's the MVP guy.
Man,
you're not going to shut him out.
Man, he'll just turn around. He'll turn around and get other guys involved to help him out. And that's the thing what Jokic does. He knows exactly when to start scoring, and he knows exactly when to start passing and start facilitating to get these other guys involved in the process. And Monty Morris
is a good young point guard. Will Barton can starts, he can fill him up if he needs to.
Don't forget about
And you feel it-
Forbes. Forbes killed
Yeah,
us.
I didn't get to him yet, but Forbes is another dude off the bench that'll hurt you. Compazzo's another lightning rod. So I mean, they got a lot of good players there. Aaron Gordon, you forgot how good Gordon was from his time with the Orlando Magic. When his mind right, he'll put some points on you. So I mean, we'll see how it all goes. But yeah, Jokic is a guy that has a high basketball IQ and leads them guys with every major statistical category: rebounds, assists, all of that, points. He knows how. He's just really intelligent and knows how to get guys involved. When people start keying on him, that's when he starts moving that ball around. So you're right. You're smart to say Big V can have to kind of beat him up, kind of get a little rough with him and force him to play to take some of that energy off of him. Perhaps get him in foul trouble if that's possible. So
we tried. That was the stratagem we went with this last game. And you know what? You know what happened? We got him up to 3, and the refs just stopped calling shit. He was blatantly fouling, and they just refused to call it. You could tell it was like the opposite of what they did BI. Like, tonight they refused to put, the joke out of the game. This is an MVP you talk about here. Y'all not about to play this thing where you foul him out of the game. The refs wasn't letting it happen. So, like I said, I think we should get that energy off of him, and then maybe force him to make some foolish decisions in that department. And hopefully we could foul him out if he's tired and he just makes, blatant fouls where he got to grab and hold and it's too much to where they can't let it pass. But, we don't really get the luck of the draw in the referee department, man. It's been a difficult area. And I remember watching that Denver game, and it was difficult that night too.
We've been getting some calls these last few away games. The Pelicans been hitting a high clip from the charity stripe. We'll see how it go in the Denver
Yeah,
matchup.
but we still get a lot of
the
crazy stuff that go against us. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I get you on that. Just a part of being a New Orleans organization, you're gonna get that type of stuff regardless. But the thing is, it all plays true. I know we got BI coming back here, but really the key to it is Big V going against Jokic. Perhaps we can do that to get him involved there as well. So hopefully, and this is a game where we talked a lot about Jose Alvarado. Perhaps Graham could wake up in this matchup against the.
Jose Alvarado had a big game against Denver, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
He did, but sooner or later, I'm saying Graham got to respond from Jose Alvarado's pressure.
He has to, man. It's not looking good at this point.
It's not at all. I mean, energy. I mean, Graham is I like Graham a lot, but Jose Alvarado's his offensive temperament was spurred from his defensive.
He's more balanced,
right? So
if Graham ain't hitting them 3-pointers, bro, it's like you can't really justify playing him that many minutes.
No, you can't, because he in the defensive dynamo, and Jose Alvarado is a guy that comes in there with that temperament, man, and he's like that.
You can't really set the table for other people either, and Jose's finding a way to do that.
Yeah, he's better than him. Boy, Jose done came to a situation where he got more heart than KLJ. He ain't more skilled than KLJ in terms of his athleticism and all that. But what Jose Alvarado is what the Pelicans need. They need a smart point guard that got a lot of heart, that's not afraid of nothing. And that's exactly what he is. I like the kid a lot.
That's right. WB 3 the third got a question for you, Q.
This ain't the calling show, Willie. That's
the ghost of Willie Bivens. We just did a show where we let everybody call, and where you was at, man?
Man, I was drinking them Clint Eastwood beers, man. I was chilling, eating ribs and drinking Clint Eastwood beer. That's what
listening to Bob Marley music and shit.
WB3 be chilling out there in Florida. We got to go out there and chill with old WB3. But anyway,
that's right.
But yeah, man, it all begins with this man here, Jokic. And man, look at that stat line. I'm just looking at it: 26, 14, and 8. The man's phenomenal. So we're gonna have to, you got to take care of business against him first and foremost. So that's where it relies. So we'll see. Damon says, "Hey, QDC, I've been saying Graham is a good player, but in my opinion, I think he is a good 6-man at best." Well,
yeah. Yeah, he got a Lou Williams type game to me if he can perfect it. But for him to be a good six man, I think he has to work on the same thing where he has the problem being a starter. Like he needs to work on his consistency. And to me, that's gonna come from him perfecting either a mid range game or being able to attack that the goal better, man, and get to the line or something because he has to figure out a way to be efficient on those nights when his shot's not falling, or for the stretches during the game when his shot's not falling. He has to find a way to still be just as impactful as he would be shooting a three. And I think that would be the best way to learn that if you have a quality person that's better than him to put in front of him is to allow him to play from the bench because at what he's making and the skill set that he has, and especially if you're talking about putting him out there against guys, bench rotations that aren't as talented as him, he could easily still average the same thing he averaging now from the bench with less minutes.
Yeah, that was the thought process on Graham. That six man seems the best until he figures out. But I'm not saying this is the end of Graham. I mean, he could very well get up to that level where he improves to get, even though he's not known for that. You see it sporadically at times. You'll see him assist and do his thing. But outside of that, it's not nearly as consistent as you would need to be able to cultivate winning here. We need we need that skill set there. So whatever the Pelicans decide to do by February the 10th, and it's the first going into the second. Man,
well, come on, Q. You know how this go. David Griffin apparently only has 2 times he can trade. He can only trade during the offseason and right up to the last seconds of the deadline. There's no other time. That's the only 2 times he can trade, and that's the only time it's gonna happen. I don't know why we shocked that nothing ain't happened yet. Y'all know he gonna wait till the last possible second to extract every possible thing he can get, possibly.
Hey, that guy's about.
And we either gonna get a great value canned good, or we gonna get something real nice out the layaway.
I think that guy's about making splashes, man.
Who we gonna give up though, man? And especially with let's say if the guys played how they played tonight over the stretch of next they got about 6 games, I think, until February 10th. What if they're playing really good? Like who are you gonna give up? I mean, they played pretty well tonight without Josh Hart. I know we don't want Josh Hart to go nowhere, but just saying they played well without Josh Hart tonight. I thought it was a little weird that all of a sudden, he set out with an injury. I didn't see anything crazy last game that way. He looked like he retweaked it. Could that be a little bit of smoke? The fact he didn't play tonight?
I don't know. All I can say about it is that they're gonna do something here because it's too much going on out there on the street in terms of the waiver wire while the Pelicans are moving around inquiring about this, that, and the third. And they're serious about making a move now, whether it's for McCollum. There's a lot of smoke around that fire, around that rumor about McCollum possibly being the piece that added. And of course, Josh Hart's got to be in there. Of course, you're going to probably give up several first-round draft picks to acquire him. And it's just what it is. We'll see what the Octopus got going on there, man. But it is encouraging. Yeah, you're right, Sky. Sato and Temple. We
ain't getting rid of both of them, Sky. You can kill that dream. Ain't nowhere in hell we getting rid of both of them.
I know Sato's his $10 million offer, his $10 million contract is an attractive contract for some teams because that falls off the books next year, so they'll have that $10 million chip. And of course, Temple, how much Temple's deal is? Let me see.
Right.
Temple's contract.
Temple $5 million.
$5 million. Yeah,
yeah.
So
3 years, 5 million a year. So we got him 2 more years, I believe.
Yeah, and Sato's at 10 million. I want to say his number is here. Yep, 10 million.
Yeah, Sato gone, man.
Yeah,
Sato,
yeah.
Whatever trade we do,
he's in there.
Sato.
He's in there. He's in there. He's in that mix.
Even if we just get a great value can good, some type of way, Sato is going.
It's intriguing though. That, like I said, we found some people. Jose Alvarado there. And Herb Jones is another guy in there. This rookie second round draft pick, playing, really contributing a lot to the team. Then you got Trey Murphy, who's the first round draft pick of this year. Hopefully he can start still inclining there. Jackson Hayes has been playing well over a stretch of games, looking pretty good there.
And NAW is definitely improving.
NAW had a good game tonight in terms of his balance. Didn't do too much.
Yeah, when he tries to start doing too much, that's when it goes left, man. When he kind of let everything come to him, he plays really good, man.
He got to learn that. And I think if anybody could teach it to it, this Coach Willie Green could teach him balancement. I mean, because you see the Pelicans are improving, man, in terms of it. But, we just don't have enough if we lose our big guys like BI and Big V. We lose those guys. We simply don't have enough to be able to compete with most teams in the NBA. And that's where Graham is supposed to step up and say, okay, well, those guys out of the way, the ball coming to me. I'm option one. Let me go ahead and crank you for 28, 25, 28, 26, 30. That's when I start.
Even if he don't do that, man, I was more upset that I didn't see him taking 18, 19 shots. Even if he didn't put up the points, just to have the confidence and to try to take it over like that. We need you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you when Big V and BI gone, who's option one if it's not him? I mean, how many shots you think option one gonna get? I mean, he gonna get the ball.
Willie Herman Gomez was option one for one game, and then it probably be Herb Jones. He might have it for one game.
By opting out,
it was just floating around. Q.
There was options by opting out. He opted out of it and see that simply can't go. When you have an opportunity, you got to take advantage of that. And even the man mama saying that to him. Man,
he shouldn't have never said that with the way Alvarado playing. He shouldn't have never told nobody.
They gave Alvarado all the confidence in the world because
all the confidence that put all the pressure on himself. And you need to keep that conversation between you and your mama, boy.
I don't think Graham is afraid of pressure, but what it does,
he not.
He got to step up, man. And that's been the point that I've been making about Graham. I was like, dude, you got to break out that glass ceiling.
You know what, Q? I think he will. But the thing is, will it be too late though? Will it be too late?
I don't think so. I think eventually
I'm pretty sure he will, man.
But
I'm saying, like, what if we looking at Josh Hart and they wind up trading him, and he step up for somebody else?
Well, listen, bro.
Because it's only a matter of time, in my opinion, if he still got the opportunity.
Well, my thing is, listen, man. CJ McCollum is a special player. Don't get me wrong. And Mose was saying this. Mose was saying, man, we need to go ahead and get them guys. We need to get them because we can't attract those guys here. Remember in free agency when we try to get Lowry, CP3, we throwing at them big bucks. Them dudes say, no, I'm going to Miami. No, I'm staying in Phoenix.
I'm staying in Dallas. You can't forget about Tim Hardaway.
Hardaway Jr. gave him big checks. And he said, no, I'm staying with Luka Doncic in Dallas. I think we can win more than what you guys got going on. But the reality is, that's a point. The Pelicans are not going to be respected until they start winning games against really good teams and being more of a consistent force in the postseason race. Bottom line. And then, of course, Zion, and most of this is probably going to have to be done this year without Zion, who maybe I'm wrong here, but I don't think Zion comes back this year. I'm just going to keep it real, which if you got a guy that missed as many games, DC, as Zion Williamson, and you finally getting him healthy, you're going to rush him in. I wouldn't bring him back this year, to be honest with you. Now, if he had healed on time, that's something totally different. But if the guy, if he has this process and it's an extended one, man, we don't need you. Let's make a trade here, maybe a second tier trade for a Powell or somebody like that. Maybe we could wow the Mavericks and try to get Brunson, which I doubt it. We'll be able to get him. But if they asking about Finney Smith, they got out from Dallas about Finney Smith, you got to be asking about Brunson. So, I mean, and there's a hole at the point guard position. I know Jose Alvarado is there at the same time, and we can still keep Jose there. But, man, Brunson's on another level. But anyway, my thing is...
What's up, Till? What's on there, brother? I ain't seen him in the chat in a minute.
What's up, my boy? That's my dog, Teal. And Teal There's much love to my brother Till and the Nola Bros, man, doing their thing. But yeah,
Right.
this is reality, bro. So at some point in time, like I said, Graham, if we can just get Graham consistent, like we've seen, bro. I mean, we've seen a lot of Pelican people just elevate their games. We've seen Josh Hart take his game up to the next level. We've seen what Herb Jones can do. We've seen Jose Alvarado. We've seen Jackson Hayes, that old paratrooper, put his jumpsuit away and start playing and keeping himself affixed to the ground. So we've seen several players here starting to figure it out, and I like Graham, and I think eventually he'll figure it out too. So I mean, but like I said, I don't know about the McCollum. I know people want to swing for the fence and bring McCollum here and then pair him with Zion and Bi and Big V, and that's intriguing. You know, it really is intriguing to have that kind of match, and he'll be probably the best shooter that you had down here and probably the history of the team. To be honest with you, he'll probably be the best shooter. But at some point, the Pelicans are going to make a move before the trade deadline, and it'll be that or a second-tier member to come in and alleviate some of the scoring pressure off the Pelicans. We'll see, man. I don't know what that old octopus is going to do, but at the same time, we'll see, man. We'll see.
That's right, dog. What Willis say he having problems with the super chat? Say he trying to send the super chat and he can't send it.
Well, if it won't do that, bro, just they got a cash app there, my brother. $, the sports coma is scrolling across the screen. It's in the description section that below too as well. So appreciate that, bro.
I think I see you, B. Thomas. He said Doc I gave up a first for Graham. I don't think he gonna trade Graham. He might get killed for it. I don't think he would trade Steven Adams. I mean, we gave up some picks for him and then turned around and traded him again. Didn't we have to give up well, we didn't give up. They threw Eric Bledsoe in the Drew Holiday thing.
Well, DC, I don't think the octopus is worried about that. He knows that he got to. It's a certain era of desperation. We talked about this the last stream. It's a certain era of desperation that he's thinking with. The Pelicans have to make it to the postseason, and he's gone, man. Right. He knows that. He has to get them in all that talking about this, that, and the third. This is his third year here, and all we done seen is dysfunction out the world. So I mean, at some point, man, and listen, the family members are on him, man. More so, and I'm so happy. Listen, I'm happy that the Pale Nation is turning up the heat because we're not falling for the Philadelphia stratagem, which is tough to trust the process. That's absolutely some BS and bunk. You know, that was some trash. I don't know how them people fell for that, but we're not going for that down here. We're not going to be up here waiting for you to figure it out when you done had 3 years. You're talking all this mess. You better make stuff happen. And they done did some good jobs in the draft by picking up these talents. They did a good job of Willie Green as the head coach. And it's a floor by which to build. But the Pelicans, they need something. They need one or two guys. We talked about this before. They need one or two more guys to help this team move forward. And you don't have to get rid of a bunch of role players to make it happen. If you get a second-tier guy, make it happen. But the Octopus is a guy that likes to make a splash, DC. So that might be where he resides at. And whether it's Hart and Sato or any of those guys, that's not as long as it's not Bi, Zion, or Big V, you know, and Herb. I think most of them guys they probably would swing for the fence if CJ McCollum was there. I like Terrence Ross.
Thanks Pelicans Nation. Say Terrence Ross pretty cheap.
Yeah, I like him too.
But far as the Zion thing, man, like my standpoint is still the same. I understand most people think he's not gonna play this year, which is understandable and could possibly be true. But I feel that if the Pels are, like I said, not just hovering around 10 and all of this, but if they make it up to like the 9th seed or something, where they have a strong footing, and Zion is actually healthy, and they have a chance to make it to the playoffs or be in the playoffs, I think Zion is gonna come back. If he's healthy, if he's really healthy, him posting the cryptic tweeting him in the uniform and all this crap, he's basically said the whole time he wants to play this year. The organization said they want him to play this year. I understand a lot of that could just be mind games to keep people from flipping out over their tickets and all of that at the time. But I think it could be an air of truth to it too, because him being away from the team, Like I told you, I felt like that was more of a play because he didn't want to mess up the synergy of what's going on because there's so many rumors and so much attention around Zion. Every time he come out there, they trying to look at him and eyeball him and put a scale on him with their eye, like they got
Yeah,
Dragon Ball Z
yeah,
scouters that show weight
yeah,
instead of energy or something.
yeah. You
So
got back ass crazy, ridiculous ass, mentally ill people like Charles Barkley,
right.
talking about him and Shaq. I don't know what kind
What
of
do you
man would
went to
talk like
Portland
that,
for?
man.
They still got food in Portland.
Yeah, you're just picking at the boy, man. Come on,
Right,
man.
man.
You know
Right.
he knew he wouldn't have liked that. He wouldn't have liked that when he didn't have no sense of humor. When he got old and fat up there and people started kidding him. But when Charles Barkley was playing,
He
he
was
ain't had
fat
that
when
type
he was
of
young.
right. He didn't have that type of sense of humor. You know, he would get upset. He was fighting people and all that, talking shit and all that. But anyway, the bottom line is that I'm not mad about Zion Williamson going up there, but the Pelicans, listen, what the Pelicans are showing growth because they're developing personnel. Listen, we've seen the previous two reincarnations where they just would sit guys. They would just sit guys, just draft guys and just sit them half the damn season. That's not the
Wait,
case now. The Pelicans actually are
hold up,
developing
fam.
people.
I see you, Kev and Sky, but I mean, what you mean, Sky? So we just doing the play when you want. I don't think people understand. You really need to go look up the injury that the brother got for one. Like I pointed out several times, Kevin Durant had the same injury and he set out for a year and some months. I don't think Zion is playing all these mental games and he faking injury. I
No, I
think
think
the
he
dude
really
really
want to
hurt.
play. I think he really want to play the game. I don't
Right.
think
I think the dude
Zion.
hurt and he won't play.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't think he
yeah,
oh, I'm in New Orleans. I'm gonna try to
yeah.
preserve myself till I
I,
go. So I don't think he doing
yeah.
all that.
Nah,
That's rumors I think we hearing. And when you investigate or do just a little bit of research into the injury that he got, it is a tricky injury to heal from. Some people didn't heal from it in 3 months. Other people didn't heal from this injury in 18 months. Like it's a really tricky injury when
that's
you
why.
just do a little looking into it.
That's why I was telling you
You
that.
might be right. I'm just saying, I just said my standpoint, brother.
Right. Well, I get what you're saying, but I'm saying, listen, when he had the setback, that set me back. I said, well, listen, if he heals on the timeline and he does what he's supposed to do, and that's fine. But when they said they had to stimulate the foot by injecting the shot, giving him an injection there, and then
Right.
they pushed the timeline back, then I was like, nah, he don't need to play this season because the Pelicans, truth be told, they make a move here and give the team a little bit more scoring. They could take with good health and the development that they're doing because they're developing. They're doing a really masterful job of developing the talent. They're getting a lot out of some of these guys that are really new to the system. They're getting a lot out of Jose Alvarado out the G League coming in, giving them some serious work there. You look at Jackson
Right. He
Hayes.
ain't even got a real decent contract yet.
That's what I'm saying. The dude really. And then you seen Garrett Clark was doing this thing for a little bit when they was giving him the minutes. He was in there making things shake and bake. So the Pelicans are doing a pretty feasible job of finding talent and then cultivating the talent. Taking Herb Jones and getting him on that level, that's phenomenal. Trey Murphy is inspired by that. We can get him healthy, keep him going, working on him. We can see, I don't know, a similar trajectory this year, but at least his offensive game, if he can bring that along off the bench, that'll be a really welcome insight to see Jackson Hayes finally be able to find himself in the Pelicans offense and defense and start doing this stuff. That's encouraging. So you can see them developing talent and have guys like Jackson Hayes playing Josh Hart playing the best ball of his career. He's playing really stellar basketball. And then you see BI just took it to a whole nother level. Big V's here doing his thing. So we've seen them develop these guys and get them to another level. We just need a little bit more. And I know Zion is there, but you got to remember, not just his current history, but all of the stuff, the mindset of a player as young as him who constantly getting hurt, who's spending a lot of games on the bench as opposed to playing, and then all of the pressure coming down on top of him, or people clowning them or calling them this, that, and the third. Like I said, step away, get healthy, and when you're healthy, we'll talk about all that other stuff.
Right.
But right now, the Pelicans can win games right now. They ain't gonna win no championships without them, but the Pelicans can win some games here to get a little close to this thing. So, like I said, a trade can help. So, like I said, two players. They don't have to be two big blockbuster players, but 2 players that can fit, that can help this team, can help steady the win. Now, listen, we about to block out
2
of here.
players,
2
first
players.
round. 2
2
players, first round.
There you
First
go.
round. There you go.
Okay. Now let's cover this. I'm gonna share this with the family members here, and this is coming from Bleacher Report, and it says Pelicans may focus on McCollum. Now I'm gonna read what Fisher is saying in the article right here about the Pelicans and their site, and then you tell me what you think about this, DC, and the family members. Y'all can feel free to comment on it as well. All right. This is coming from Jake Fisher. He recently wrote the emergence of Anthony Simmons could lead to, and even that little dude been balling, could lead the Trailblazers to trade veteran CJ McCollum. He also noted the New Orleans Pelicans are, quote, the destination most often linked to McCollum, end quote. According to sources close to the Pelicans, the team is headed into the deadline as a buyer focusing on the 2022-23 campaign. Williamson, who is yet to play this year with a foot injury, is eligible for an extension this offseason. The team apparently views McCollum as a potential ideal veteran scorer and leader to play alongside of BI and Williamson. The Pelicans aren't near the NBA's $136.6 million tax luxury line. They have a $17.1 million trade exception for Steven Adams and several first-round draft picks to offer, including 2 apiece from the Lakers and the Bucks. Now, several executives view McCollum as a negative asset based on his salary, $100 million through 23 and 24. He's only 6'3", but and his age is 30. But that may be an opportunity for the Pelicans to add one of the league's best professional scorers at a diminished price. If so, New Orleans will be required to send out at least $24.6 million in outgoing salary. Tomas Satoransky, $10 million. Jackson Hayes, $5.3 million. Will get them some of the way there. Still, the Pelicans likely need to include at least one of Jonas Valanciunas or Josh Hart or Devontae Graham. If the Blazers can get a first rounder and some prospects such as NAW, Najee Marshall, or Hayes for McCollum, that could be a win. It's unclear which of the higher salary veterans will work for the Blazers or Pelicans. Portland also believed to be shopping Robert Covington and Nurkic. Hart is well liked by the Pelicans coaching staff. Valanciunas is yet to take the court with Williamson. The Pelicans gave up a 2022 first rounder to get Graham, although projections will likely turn the obligation to a pair of second rounders in 2022 and 2024. New Orleans signed Big V to an extension in October, but they also flipped Adams after a year with the franchise following a similar extension. Whatever the result, expect the Blazers to trim some salary before the deadline to get under the luxury rate. Now, Adams' exception could come into play as it is large enough for the Pelicans to absorb Covington or Nurkic's salary outright. So this is wrote by Fisher, and it focuses on the focus. Now, we've said that before about this, but they mentioned some of the negatives. But the Pelicans, the octopus, is looking at that saying that's really not a negative to us because we feel like we can absorb that. That's why we're talking to them about it. We having various meetings about him. And the guy will shoot your goddamn eyes out. He's 30 years old, but you pair him with B.I., Big V, and a healthy Zion Williamson, watch out. We can feel around just like we found. Y'all feel me on this. Y'all give y'all commentary in the chat, in the Pel chat, and let me know how y'all feel about this. But if that is indeed the case, and the Pelicans are looking at CJ McCollum to bring him here for what we just said, the Josh Hart deal, Satoransky, Jackson Hayes, and whatever the $17 million from the exception to get that where and add those contracts there, and several first-round draft picks thrown in the mix, they feeling like, listen, we get McCollum and pair him here is a great 4 mix with Big V, McCollum, B.I., Zion. That is very interesting.
That sounds pretty impressive.
With Willie Green as the head coach, and they're saying, listen, just like we found.
And then you're still gonna have a pick somewhere to be able to get another talent. You got her.
Just like you found Jose Alvarado, We can find Jose Alvarado. We can find another Jose Alvarado. We can find another guy like this. We can find another guy like that. So, DC, very interesting article right there. Puts the numbers and the players in perspective. What do you got? What do you think about that article?
Yeah, I mean, I like what I'm hearing, man. I feel like obviously if that's the only alternative, okay, I get it. But I would like to go a different route. We already talked about this, Jalen Brunson. If not that, then look to make some smaller moves and kind of retain what we have. As you can see, Jackson Hayes is actually not a finished product. We really don't know what he'll turn into. I mean, he could just pretty much plateau out like this, and he could be JaVale McGee. Like I said, his career probably would kind of go, or he could go somewhere else and really turn into something bigger. So just looking at all of that, man, if you're giving up Josh Hart, Satoransky, obviously, Jackson Hayes, then if it's one pick, then
got the trade exemption at 17
you
million.
You can't combine the exemption with
you got
to absorb. It has to be a player that fits, their salary fits under the exemption. I can't combine the exemption
with the player salaries.
Yeah, I don't. You're matching salaries, so you don't have to do that.
So
I don't think you can do that. It has to be somebody 17 million or under for you to be able to use that trade exemption. So
so McCollum's contract is, what is it here? Let me see. I
mean, he making probably 30 million this year. So we got to be able to get to that 30 million. We already under the cap, so we got some money there. And then we got to send out some salary to, kind of meet whatever we not under. But CJ McCollum
with the cap, as well as they required to send out about 24.6 million in outgoing salary.
So we 6 million under the cap then right now.
So 24.6 million outgoing salary if McCollum's the guy. But listen, I hear what the family members saying. They don't like the deal because they don't want to tear up the roster, because they done built it up
rightfully so, man. I mean,
I get you on that, but but that's what I'm saying. We're not running the team, even though the family members have input on that. But I'm asking the family members, y'all know about the octopus. Do you think he's not going to tear up the team? Do you think he's going to take a deal, a smaller trade deal, just to have a scorer like Powell? Just reach out to a guy like Powell. I do like Covington. I do like Covington.
That's the one caveat I was trying to get to with talking about it. If we did pull that deal and we sent away a Jackson Hayes, which in my opinion is at least somebody that opens up another spot where we actually need a player. We need another role player if we get rid of him. We can't just get McCullough and not replace that spot that we have for him. A guy like Robert Covington will definitely soften the blow and make you think twice. You got a dude who can guard 1 through 5. He can hit shots on the perimeter. He's kind of he's a real versatile type player. He does a lot of different things. Obviously not going to be somebody you call and plays for offensively, but he can get buckets here or there, trash points. Kind of like a taller version of Josh Hart. Not exactly the same, but you get what I'm saying. Just kind of a guy that's not quite a star. He's kind of a starter. He can be like a 6-man, just a real versatile player you can use in all type of ways. So if you can get him and you pair that up with CJ McCullough, then I mean you got something. But the other route where I feel a little better about this trade, as much as I like Devontae, if I got to pick between Devontae and Josh Hart, even if Devontae was playing well, I would rather take and move Devontae for CJ instead of moving Josh Hart, because it's kind of like the role that you have for Devontae, CJ does the same thing. So everything about it gets replaced. You know what I mean? So it's you won't miss a beat, in my opinion. With the guys, I think Josh Hart, to me, if they had to pick somebody, which I mean, I don't think the guys would say that, but Josh Hart been with the team longer, and I think the chemistry that they got with him might be a little deeper than Graham, and also he does more. But at the same time, if you can get CJ McCullough, you got to get CJ McCullough, man. I mean, what other? If that's the only option we have to improve this team some type of way. We're not getting nobody in free agency. If we don't make any trades, maybe we do make the plan, maybe we don't. If we don't, how are we going to get someone else? Are we just going to keep depending on the draft? Me, as far as it right now, I don't think the draft is going to make us better because I don't think we can keep getting young guys for the team we have. We got to get some older players that know how to win. Like, you have to have some vets. And I would preferably like my vets to be good instead of being like Garrett Temple, somebody who could just fill in and could teach you the game and all that. Nah, show me. Show me how to play at a high level. You know what I mean? I want a vet that's actually good, and not the shit on Garrett Temple, but y'all know what I'm saying. I want a vet that's actually a legit starter who put fear into other teams out there. You know what I mean? We have players that put fear in them, but unfortunately they just happen to be very young. And I think that's one of the main things we missing from being a constant winner at a high level is having a veteran guy that then seen it, been there, done that, and could still put them numbers up too at the same time. And he could also somebody that can give advice to BI, give advice to Zion whenever he come back, and give advice to all these other guys. And he done went out there, did it, showed, improved it, and still doing it right now. So his advice is going to hold a lot more weight, in my opinion. And it wouldn't be the worst move in the world, but obviously there's many other things we can do that's a lot better.
Yeah,
We can't keep saying 2 more years, Trey. Like, if we keep saying we've been saying 2 more years for like the last 10 years, bro.
Listen, and we understand if this happened 2 years ago when we got Willie Green, let's say it's happened 2 years ago. The plan for him to do what he's doing would be ideal.
He said I'd be talking to Stephen A.
But the pressure is on the Pelicans to get in the postseason because of all of the losing. They know this. So there is no more plan for next year. They know that, and the Octopus is putting himself directly in the target line. He's gonna make a splash move some kind of way. It's just what it is. He's feeling the pressure. The Pelicans, and then of course this past free agency period showed you everything you need to know about the mentality of them attracting the big name with Zion Williamson, BI, and Big V. Now you do have Big V, that was a win. You have BI playing at all-star level, that's a win. Zion Williamson coming back healthy next year is a win. And if you add McCollum to the mix, I can see where they're going with this, is that they feel like they have to attract the star here because they won't be able to get him in free agency because he won't come because you're not winning. So you're going to have to do something drastic by bringing in the big name player and pairing them. And then that's the mentality of the Octopus.
We got to win. We got to win whether Zion hurt or not. We got to. It's time. We have to win. We can't keep tanking. Tanking ain't gonna make us a better team in the long run. I mean, obviously you get more talent from tanking, but it's like, okay, but when you build a culture of being a loser, you're gonna be a loser just with a lot of talent. You're gonna be a talented team that still lose. Like, you have to decide, put your foot down and not fold, man. Like, they got teams that got less talent that will be a better team because they have a mentality and a culture of winning. So you can't keep punting on the season. That's what you turn into. Why you think you have teams like, Detroit Lions and the Detroit Pistons and all these teams that constantly lose in Sacramento, and then they get number 1 picks and top picks after top picks, and they just keep losing. Eventually you have to build a culture of winning, and that will mean not punting on the season when everybody feel like maybe you should punt on the season and get a better pick. You have to draw the line at some point and stop doing that. What you talking about? What Willie talking about? What you said? I told y'all the same thing Moses said to y'all. Laugh at me, but you agree with Moses. I told y'all that Zion Williamson mama was messing up his career, have no place in male athletics. I agree with a lot of what Mo says, but I ain't touch on that because I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't talked to the man mama. I don't know what she running. So I can't really comment on stuff I don't know. So
Now,
I gave Moses props on a lot, but
Moses was
as far as
saying that he
with
was
it,
on the plane with one of the guys from down here.
yeah.
That knew more than
He said one of the reporters.
Yeah, and he said that he can't report on them because, you know, I think whoever the reporter was, he was a part of the
Mo
team.
said Zion team. I don't think he said his mama. He said his team.
His team, which is his dad, his stepdad. I don't think that's his dad, but I think it's his stepfather and his mama.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, and they said that he runs the show. That was inside, and that's what Mo's dropped on us. So, I mean, that makes sense. But at the end of the day, man, the reality is we're not talking about you know, like this offseason. Like that guy felt like, man, I get whoever I want. If I got the money, I'm gonna spend it. But when he was throwing out that money, players was batting it down. So I mean, obviously feel well, I can't get him in here free agency wise. I might have to make a trade for him. And if I can get a guy like McCollum, that's how the octopus is thinking, and pair him with Zion Williamson, BI, and Big V. I can build, do whatever I need to do on the other end.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, man.
So, and Willie Green
if McCullough is not hurt, and he's the guy who, you know, he's shown himself to be throughout history still, would it be that bad? I don't think it would be. It definitely wouldn't be the worst thing we could do. But I mean,
the only thing that hurt it is the injuries happen when you start because
and that's a big thing because that's what kind of happens to us a lot.
That's the thing. Like if the only thing that derailed the plan of getting McCollum is the fact that he does tend to be hurt a lot. Zion Williamson is hurt a lot. BI misses some games, and you got to have and that's the thing. I understand they want to get the stars here, but listen, we still have. I keep saying the same thing. We got to have a bench. You just can't you just can't have 5 guys running around there and 2 or 3 guys off the bench. You need a solid bench to help you compete in the NBA. You're going to wear those guys out. You have a beautiful roster of really talented players, but you will wear them out if you don't have a sufficient enough bench to allow those guys to rest. And that's been the spiel with the Pelicans. They've been so unbalanced because we fixate on the starting 5 and don't have a balanced bench to compensate for those players. So we have not been able to build that. And this year, you're starting to see them put together pieces. So a lot of people are hesitant to let go of the success that they see that's occurring right before their eyes because
you see the potential in them.
You see them playing together. You see them learning each other. You can see the potential of the team moving forward, and they don't want to disrupt that. They just want to add to it, and that's just been my message. But looking at what
I wouldn't be mad at that, but I don't want. I just don't want Tank. I don't want Tank and give up.
No, as long as you're trending toward a playoff berth is one thing. But like I can understand what the family members say, and I can also look at the octopus and see what he's trying to do. You can't attract them in free agency because they don't want to play it because you ain't won nothing.
Right.
The organization is seen as a joke to many of the players outside. That's why you have to overpay for certain guys. So the only way he can accrue that type of talent is to trade for it. Portland is looking to break them up. Pelicans have draft capital, and they're thinking about putting it together to pair him with Zion, BI, and Big V. Which is give that to Willie Green and say, listen, let's put together something around this and find the role players necessary to keep the team. So I see both vantage points, but in the end, which way do they go? We'll learn by February the 10th.
Man, you tripping, John Wilson. I ain't trying to send Hard and Big V for CJ and Nurture. Man, you tripping on that one.
No, we don't keep Big V.
Right. Elliot Williams say it's not his mama. It's his stepdad. It been that way since high school. Maybe that could be he could be on to something else. But I agree with you though, Q, and I understand the family not wanting to get rid of other players. I really see both perspectives, honestly. If I had my way, I would do it different. Obviously, if we don't pull a trade, that would be good too, because we know Doc Ock ass should be getting fired. So that would be great. But what if we didn't pull a trade and they made it to the play? And is there any chance that Doc Ock is still in that office next year?
If they don't,
We make it to the play and then we win and make it to the playoffs. Is Doc Ock still here?
yeah.
Damn, man, we in a lose-lose situation.
You're not gonna get rid of him because he finally made the necessary moves, and one of which is to get out. That's the simplest move to us, which was get out of the way and let your people that you hired,
Right.
which is Trajan Langdon and the rest of the brass do their jobs. And you just stay out the way and let them guys do it. Willie Green was a good hire. And he's working well with the team. He communicates, he motivates.
That's
That's
why we need to win, man. We got a new coach, and the
Right.
stuff is working, man. Keep
Right.
trending up. Do what you got to do
Right.
to win.
So the case is, and of course, hopefully they get an insight from Willie. Is what do you need? That should be the question. Is what do you think you need to help this team get there? And Willie knows what he needs. Well, such and such and such. But we'll see if the Octopus what he does. We'll see, man. Because they are building up a team now, and we haven't seen a lot of guys coming in here and the Pelicans going out and making trades like some guys or some teams are making. They see something, they go out and get it to help the team steady. The Pelicans go out and get undrafted guys, Garrett Clark, pull Jose Alvarado off the squadron, bring him here, bring Harper here for a little bit, send him back, bring Trey Murphy, drafted him, send him out there, bring him back. So we've been pretty much just using these guys. We haven't seen a big flux of guys that come on the team like a free agents, like an Isaiah Thomas or a DeMarcus Cousins that you bring in here. They've been developing the guys, trying to develop guys that is attached to the team, the Jose Alvarados, and it's actually working. This is process, developing Jackson Hayes, so on and so forth. But they've been quiet on the trade front, and we know Griffin likes to trade. So smoke is they're saying that McCollum, a lot of stuff between the Pelicans and the Trailblazers for McCollum, and that's backed by the fact that he understands that he can't attract free agents that pair with the guys that we have here that we acquired through free agency. Through trading. We got Big V via trade, right? BI via trade. Josh Hart via trade. So your best players that are glue of the team was via trade people. You didn't sign those guys and from free agency. I won't go to the Pelicans. No, all these were guys that came via trade. So the mentality of the Octopus is to keep following that mantra, to keep going via trade. So McCollum, that's why he's so attractive to the Octopus and the rest of the team, because they saying, man, listen, we get him in with Para, we'll do whatever we got to do to fill in the rest of the bench. Yeah, and I get people can say that. I get that.
This trending down to the last of the comments we trying to take, but Sky's got an interesting question. I thought that he asked me. He said, DC, so what if we get CJ and Zion say he wants a trade? And you know my answer to that would be, Sky, trade him. If he don't want to be here, I don't want him. I don't know why you asked me that. You know my answer. If you don't want to be here, I don't want him. I don't see why getting CJ McCollum would make Zion ask for a trade without ever playing with him. You know what I mean? I really don't. I don't see that. I don't see CJ being like chopped liver, like we getting somebody that's dead weight or something, or gonna bring the team down. I really don't see that. I don't think there's any team in the NBA that wouldn't be happy to have CJ McCollum on their team, as far as the players are concerned. Now, when you start talking about the money and gutting out our bench and everything that we're talking about, that's the general concern. It's not because he a bad player. And I definitely think with CJ McCollum, even if we did give up some pieces we didn't want to off the bench, we would win. But long term, we would not be as good as we possibly can be if we hold on to some of these guys and they actually grow to their potential, which is still a long shot that you don't know either. So both roads do have question marks. But CJ and us getting him, as Zion said, would be the weirdest situation I've ever heard of. And if we did trade for CJ and Zion said he wants to be traded, that just lets me know he wanted to be traded all along. And this would just be a way to go about it, to have a narrative of, because you traded this or that, and he already wanted to get traded, which I don't think he does. I understand all the talk with the Knicks out there, and they got Cam Reddish and all of this, but I really don't see Zion as one to be traded. I've never seen a player pass up the amount of money that's going to be available to him through us, and to turn that down to go play with his friends. If he does want to bust that move, it's going to be at least in year 5 or 6, which I really don't see him being made from that mold. I said time and time again till it happens. I don't know Zion, so maybe I could be wrong, but I really don't see it. I see Zion as being a more old school type of player, the way he look at things, as far as his career. And I've always heard them say he wants to be with one franchise for his whole career. That's always what I've heard, even when he was at Duke. So maybe he can change his mind on that, or maybe not. Maybe everything the media is doing is just smoke. I will remind y'all again, because we have short memories. Giannis Antetokounmpo was not staying with the Milwaukee Bucks. Y'all don't remember that? He was definitely going to the Lakers or the Warriors. It was etched in stone. It was facts. He didn't sign his contract for the last year. He's definitely leaving. And where Giannis at right now? He won a damn championship with the Bucks, and it don't look like he's ever going anywhere.
He ain't going nowhere.
So how do we know the
Steph Curry
situation is the
constantly.
same? If we get into a time machine and we go back about 2 years, the pressure of Giannis leaving was even more pressure than they're saying was Zion right now, and he's still there. So until I hear Zion say it, I don't believe the man won't get traded, because I just ain't buying that. Who the hell is gonna pass up $250 million? Because that's what he's gonna be eligible for, staying with us.
Well, the money is an intriguing option for Zion Williamson. I don't see him passing all that money up on the back of the fact that he's coming off this season where he ain't played one game. I don't think he's gonna play this year, and he'll hit the summer missing the entire season and walk right into a hefty extension. Hell no, you're not gonna turn that down. But they'll make it work. They'll make the dollars fit, man, and the Pelicans will build around it. I mean, like I said, a lot of people like the fact that they like their development and them developing these young players and such and such, but to compete with the big dogs on the block, you need some more big dogs.
Right.
So you got Willie Green got some ammunition right now, but give him some heavy rounds, man, and see what he can do with that then. So I think that's what they're going to do. And I do like our developmental players, don't get me wrong, because I've been pushing for a bench, and we finally seeming that we got some guys playing together, and maybe that's for a degree. Has stopped a lot of the midseason trades, and that's why we ain't seen the Pelicans as active as we thought they would be, because maybe Willie is telling them, let me see what I can do with these guys here. So, but we'll see. February 10th, something's going to shake. Whether it's a mid-rounder or McCollum, there's a lot of smoke around McCollum in the Pelicans right now. And Portland seems like the Pelicans are the top team that's drawing the interest. They have the trade assets, and they do have the contracts to make it work. Just as all the matter what players that they're looking at. But like I said, once again, it's the Octopus's decision to make of which people that he feels like McCollum will be in addition. Only thing, like I said, it's a very risky move, man. But what risk you got to have risk, man. You got to take some risks if you're gonna get it, man. Playing it safe is not how you gonna win nothing, man. You got to take some shots, and I get that. And everything's risky because McCollum has an injury history, Zion has an injury history, BI's been banged up. But the Pelicans, they seem to me, man, they're gonna take a shot at this thing. So Josh Hart, so they're gonna take a swing at them. A lot of the family members don't like that, but we'll see, man. We'll see how it looks. February 10th coming.
It's either that or we just keep hope alive. I mean, it's evident that you have to do something. I'm not a proponent of not doing anything. Feel like it's better moves, like we continuously say here, and ideas the family comes up with, and we do.
They got great. The family got great ideas. DC.
They do.
But what I'm saying is, with the Octopus, and I can get where they coming from. It was an eye-opening experience for them to operate in this past free agency period, where the Pelicans couldn't get none of the top dudes that they were looking for. They went after some of the best offensive players in the business. I mean, some of the real credible guys at positions that they needed help at, and simply got turned the F down. I mean, big time. They threw some money at Hardaway, and that was some good money. And he
I mean,
turned it down.
if that ain't evidence we have to trade, I don't know what is.
Well, the fact that your whole team is beat is
We kind of glad they didn't get those guys. The only one I'd have been mad about the money, but I'd been happy we got him if we did pull that off with Chris Paul. But I'm damn sure I was excited we didn't get Kyle Lowry. I was like, whew, thank God. I know you probably could win with him or whatever, but I didn't want him. But damn, the one that shocked me though, Q, was Hardaway Jr. We couldn't get Hardaway Jr. and we opened up that checkbook like that. We couldn't get him. We gotta trade, fam. We gotta trade, and we gotta find somebody that's unhappy when we trade that is okay with coming to New Orleans. All of those things are in effect for me. So if CJ don't want to be here and we trying to trade for him, no, don't do that.
I don't think I think he knows that his time is out there. And it's not like he got a.
Is he okay with being in here? That's the question I got.
I mean, if it was, I mean, I'm pretty sure we would hear about it. I hope that the Octopus and the Brass not foolish enough to trade for Eric Gordon type of player who don't want to be here. So I mean, if you bringing him here, you got BI, you got Big V. He's not coming here by himself. And he's coming to a team that can use a combo guard like McCollum, who that have plenty of opportunities to get shots. So I mean, you can really see him develop into. So it'll be interesting. But he's 30 years old with a fat contract. But like I said,
he's gonna get to run some point guard, not be with Dame.
He's gonna get to run some.
Get all the 3-point shots he wants.
Yep, he's gonna get to run some point, distribute the ball, take them shots when he able to. So I mean, we'll see where they go with this thing, man. I'm not the general manager. That's Tranger Langdon, but we'll see how it all looks and whether that's the move that they want to make to get a mid-level trade player like a Norman Powell and bring him in here and let him help out either in certain times in the starting lineup, sometimes off the bench, or whether they swinging for offenses for McCollum. It would definitely wake up a lot of the sleeping Pelican family members that's not paying attention to the team right now. When you get a big star,
I bet you they give us some more of them spots back on the national slots.
Yeah.
We switched the Pelican back in the slots that we took them off of.
You start getting all the calls too. Like when you get that type of a lineup there, and then you get matchups against Phoenix, that's must-see TV. When you get matchups against Golden State, when you get matchups against some of the
Portland
teams, you're gonna start seeing them slots open up again, and you're going to start hearing a lot of talk about them. You're going to hear a lot of the people talking about the Pelicans, and all of a sudden they become relevant again. So, I mean, We'll see, man. We'll see. It'll be intriguing, man. But like I said, this one stirring fact here before we close out, DC, is that it just seems like this past free agency cycle, Pelicans could not attract free agents to come here and play straight up. So the only other way to get talent besides developing it, which does take time, is to acquire disgruntled talent that people looking to break away, like what Portland has got going on. So, y'all.
And then people who disgruntled at their team, they be a lot more willing to come here, Sky, and not be unhappy about being here. Like I said, man, if you train with somebody, I think you would talk to them and make sure they're okay with being here and being for the long haul and everything, like similar to what we got with JV. We traded for JV, and then he came in, saw the organization, talked to the coach, and he went in the office. Not David Griffin didn't go to his house. He went in the office and said he wanted an extension. So a lot of people, when they get here and see what it really is and find out, oh, this ain't as bad as the media is turning it out to be.
Well, that's credit.
And they're actually building something here.
That's credit to Willie Green too. He's bringing that credibility in here as a guy that's respected, that has a philosophy. You can see that his team is competing. You give him a little more firepower, or let's see what the team can do. So I can see what Griffin's standpoint is on that. And so that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of smoke around that. But my only other question is that the only trade that he sees outside of the McCollum trade?
I hate to break it to you, Q, and as excited as we is talking about the Jalen Brunsons of the world and your boy from Orlando and getting a buyout for Dragic and all of these different things, we know good and goddamn well when Doc Ock lock in on the target and he wrapped them damn tentacles around him and spray that ink wherever he got to spray it to bluff everybody else, that's all he see, Q. Everywhere else he look, it goddamn ink everywhere. You can't see shit. That's all he see. He's locked in on that. If we go a different direction, I would be surprised unless it's a very minimal trade, probably one that none of us ain't seen coming. But I'm pretty sure in the ink-filled waters that he's swimming around in right now, all he see is CJ McCullough at Portland.
Yeah, that's a sneaky octopus, I got to tell you. Anyway, look, fam, that'll do it for the show tonight. We'll be back for the Denver matchup on the 4th, and we'll cover some more news. We'll open up the lines then. What day is that, DC? That's a Friday, isn't it?
Yeah, against Denver.
Denver. Okay, so
yeah, you say Portland, bro. You that'll be on February 10th when we possibly get the Portland news.
That's Freudian slip there, my friend. But anyway, yeah, that we'll be back on Friday. We'll open up the lines of communication for the family members to chime in, give their thoughts on the upcoming trade is coming soon, man. And we'll hear more smoke from what the Pelicans going to do. They're saying that the Pelicans are players in this trade season, man. So we'll see what kind of moves Pelicans as we get closer and closer to the 10th. And let's keep this thing moving. Let's get some revenge on them Denver Chicken McNuggets too, man. Let's get them up out of here, man. Get them up out of here. But
the straw that what you said, the straw that stirs the McNugget drink, huh?
Yeah, that's right. The straw. Dude says a nasty drink. Yeah. You see, y'all like chicken McNuggets.
Let's make sure the McNuggets in the smoothie machine or whatever down, like it always is at McDonald's.
You don't want a chicken McNugget drink? What's wrong with you, DC, man? You need to cut it out, bro.
Sounds disgusting, man. I don't think a dog could drink that shit. That sounds disgusting.
The straw that stirs the chicken McNuggets drink.
Yeah, say, man, this dude here, man, my goddamn host, boy, I tell you.
Talking about, boy, that's what Nurkic is drinking. I mean, Jokic is drinking, man.
That's what he drinking?
That's what he drinking, boy.
That's what you got to drink to be an MVP, huh?
That's what he drinking, bro. You ever seen them old Rocky movies where they take raw eggs and stick it in the drink and put it in the blender? I bet your chicken McNugget drink tastes better than that shit. But anyway, that'll do it for the show. Y'all chime in. Much love to y'all, man, on this one, man. That's right. The straw that stirs the chicken McNugget drink. But anyway, listen, fam, we're going to get out on that. Much love to y'all. Appreciate y'all staying up late with us for the Pelican post-game report. Like I said, we'll return on Friday to recap the Denver Nuggets matchup. WB3 will open up the lines of communication so you can chime in, and the rest of the family members can feel free to chime in as well. A bit of a
note. Make a dog smarter than that, Damien.
Even the hungriest one won't drink that. But anyway, big ups to the fam, and also let the family members know that we'll be having some merch coming at you soon. New gear from the Pelican, exclusively from the Pelican post-game report. We'll have some new merch that'll be releasing real soon. So be looking out for that as well, fam. Got some really nice merch. DC likes the merch as well. And so
Straight Jacket Jones.
We got some stuff coming to y'all, so y'all will see that'll be coming up real soon as well. So be looking out for that, man. Some merch from the Pelican Post Game Report coming up soon. So outside of that,
Straight Jacket Jones, boy.
Appreciate y'all, man, for timing in on this episode. Coma. But listen, I hate chicken McNuggets and ice cream machine. It's always broke. Yeah. They're supposed to clean the damn ice cream machine. They always forget to, and it ice up on them. And they say the ice cream,
the machine, I've been across America. The machine at McDonald's is always down. It's like a code word.
Man, they just like they don't clean the son bitch. But anyway, much love to y'all, man. Listen, we're gonna holler at y'all later. Well, DC, good work. Get you going, chill out, man. Kick your feet up, get you some rest, drink your chicken McNugget drink.
Oh no, I won't be doing that shit. I fast while I do that shit.
Peace. Go Pels.
Peace.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who Dat and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who Dat in all of us.